With that, September minutes are out there. If anyone has any comments or a motion to approve, we'd entertain those now.
I'll make a motion to approve. This is Amy.
This is Jane Ford. I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Indicate with an eye, a thumbs up, wave frantically at your camera. Any of those things are acceptable. All right. Any opposed? Excellent. All right. One of the things we've been working to do on a monthly basis with these calls, and we're going to continue that into 2022, is to use a portion of these meetings not just for information about organizations, but to also provide training each month. Obviously, this month we're not doing that, but we do have a series of trainings that we're going to be sending out as an update in the coming days. Part of that is around helping to onboard new emergency shelter staff in connection with the overflow shelter. We've been able to connect with a number of community partners, and next Thursday and Friday evening, there are going to be some trainings at the Salvation Army Clear Lake property around trauma-informed care, mental health 101, human trafficking. We're going to have that, and domestic violence. We're going to have that training on Wednesday. So we'll send you out more details about what all those trainings entail and how you can be a part of those or help your staff to be a part of those. And then the other thing we're going to be working to do is to record any of those trainings that we can, and we'll make those available. So if your staff is not able to make Thursday or Friday evening, we can make those recordings available to you to help your staff access that information too. So we appreciate several of you on this call are going to be playing a part in that training, and we're really grateful for that. And we'll be getting that information out to you as soon as we finalize a couple more things. So it should be by the end of this week. So at least wanted to get that on your radar. The next item is strategic planning. So we're grateful to have our consultants from Homebase were here in town last week. They conducted a series of focus groups with people who have had engagement with our system to address homelessness, and have been compiling that data as a part of the information gathering part of the strategic planning process. That's in addition to the community survey, the stakeholder survey, and the lived experience survey that we talked about last month, and many of you helped to get the word out on those surveys. We had a really good rate of response on those. So thank you so much for doing that. The next step in terms of the strategic planning process is going to be a series of community summits, and those are going to take place in mid-November. We're still finalizing a couple elements of the format. Some will be in-person, hybrid. Some will be purely Zoom. But the community summits, one part of it will be presenting information that was learned through the surveys, the interviews, the focus groups, providing some education on best practices, what's working in connection with some of what was revealed through the community feedback, and then providing another opportunity for community feedback attached to those community summits. So they're going to happen at different times. Like one of the Zooms will likely be in the evening. One of the hybrid events that will likely be in person somewhere, but maybe have a Facebook Live piece to it, will be in the evening, and then I think one will be in the morning. So as soon as we finalize those, we're going to issue a press release and put together some resources that we'll send out to all of you in hopes that you can share that word far and wide too. At that point, the strategic planning process will be moving towards beginning to work with putting the plan together. And at this point, we anticipate having that by the end of winter. So that's moving forward. We're really grateful for Homebase and Latham Harris Inc., who are helping us to navigate that process. Any questions about the strategic plan or the strategic planning process? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the emergency shelter system update. As many of you know, and many of you were a part of, the city funded a 12-month overflow shelter in August. And so since that time, work has been going on with a number of different partners to really work on details about how all of our shelters will work together, how they'll coordinate services, and what that will look like. In addition to that, they've been making connections around day services and what can be incorporated there. And so that group has been meeting on a weekly basis to keep pushing forward and helping to organize all that the overflow shelter will entail and how it will connect with other shelters. At this point, and do we have anybody from Salvation Army that's on the call at the moment? Where we are in the process is that the structure is laid out. We know what the intake structure will look like across the shelters. The biggest key at this point is ensuring that Salvation Army has all the staff they need and that those staff are trained properly to operate the overflow shelter. And so that work is ongoing. Several hires have been made. There are still some positions available. Salvation Army has shared that on their Facebook page. We've been putting that information in our membership updates as well. As I understand it, I believe some of the positions that are available are manager positions and a director position. And so if you know people who sort of have a passion for helping people experiencing homelessness and could be a good fit for that, we'd love for you to make a referral and help to get those positions filled as quickly as possible. Again, the information on how to do that was sent out to you in the general membership newsletter, and we'll continue to keep that in there until it's fully staffed. Any questions? One of the things that we'll do, that group again has been working on a detailed document to lay out exactly how things will work. And the intention is when we know exactly when that's going to open, we'll probably do sort of a recorded Zoom call where we can walk people through exactly how the shelter system will function and really try to provide some community education around how it will work and what people can expect and answer questions around that. So that's certainly one of the things that we want to do to help the community understand how this will all work. But if you have any specific questions at this time, that would help us know and perhaps focus in on key areas as we prepare to do that. Okay. Well, if you think of anything, don't hesitate to email me. You can put it in the chat too, and we'll work to incorporate those thoughts as well. We're flying. This is going to be a 15-minute meeting here, so I shouldn't have said that. All right, here we go. The next item on the agenda is emergency housing voucher update. And Nick, I wondered if you wouldn't mind speaking into where we are with the move on process and how that's going at the moment.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Hey, everybody. Nick Dodson, Housing Navigator for the Continuum. I'm housed over at Helping Hands, in case anyone's not familiar with me. Really exciting. We had our first application actually submitted yesterday. I went with our first client to submit our very first emergency housing voucher to the SHA. So we have officially made progress on the EHVs. I'm very, very excited about all the hard work that everyone in the emergency housing voucher work group put in. The policy and the assessment tools, and Tracy and Amy and Renetta and everybody in general. I just thank you for your grace and help with that as well. I think it's going to be wonderful. I'm really excited about it. I'll put my email address in the chat in case anyone has any questions with this specifically, but we are rocking and rolling with this as of yesterday. The SHA is taking the application assessments, etc. So one thing you got to keep in mind is whenever we do this, make sure all of our clients have all their documentation. It has to be the originals. That is absolutely essential to this. That's the birth certificate. That's the social security. That's going to be income, and that's going to be identification. We have to have all four of those to make sure we literally move on. So like I said, Housing Navigator here to help anybody whatsoever with this stuff. But I'm really thankful to be working with Josh, Amy, Renetta, everybody on this stuff, because I'm really, really proud to say we got it all rocking and rolling. As of yesterday, officially, it is going.
Hey, Nick, it's Tracy.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. It has to be certified birth certificate, correct?
That I'm not sure of, but I would suspect it has to be an original is all I know.
I actually asked Adrian that, and I believe the answer was yes.
Okay.
Does have to be a certified copy.
Thank you.
Excellent. For those of you that are wondering what an emergency housing voucher is, and just a reminder, we've talked about this periodically at these meetings, but through the American Rescue Plan, this emergency housing voucher program was created to foster partnerships between housing authorities and continuums of care. And so the Springfield Housing Authority received 35 housing vouchers, and those housing vouchers have to be filled from the continuum's coordinated entry system. And so the first phase that we were able to put in place, and our goal is to try to create as much system movement as possible with these vouchers. And so the first phase that we are putting in motion is a move on phase. So people who are in permanent supportive housing or rapid rehousing who are ready to move on, we're working to use those vouchers to help those individuals move into that more mainstream resource, and then open up permanent supportive housing spots and rapid rehousing spots for people who are currently on the coordinated entry list. And so that's where we are. We're really excited to see some movement and some referrals happening there with the Housing Authority. We're really grateful for that partnership and for this program. And again, it's a significant opportunity to help 35 people enter into housing in the coming weeks and months. So, and that's also what allowed us to bring Nick on as a housing navigator, where some of the administrative dollars connected to that program. And so for us, it's been just a significant boost, and we're really excited about the potential for that to help more people here in the coming days. Any questions about the emergency housing voucher program?
No question, Josh. This is Val. And Amy already did it because she's more coordinated than me and typed in a thanks to Nick. But I want to add my thanks also to Nick and the committee that worked so hard on this. Nick, you really hit the ground running, and all of us appreciate it. And the people who are supportive of you, I'm sure there's way more than was even mentioned, but thank everyone for that. Very much appreciated.
Excellent. Thanks, Val. Okay. The next item on our agenda is the 2021 local HUD CoC NOFA competition. Our local competition closed on the 17th. We're in the process now of compiling all the documents for our rating and ranking team to be able to analyze those, score those, and the meeting to start that process will happen next Monday. So here in the coming days, we'll be finalizing our local ranked list, and then our whole continuum application is due by November 16th, and we'll be posting that on our CoC website at least 2 days before it's posted for people to review and offer comments. And another bonus for us this year is that we've been able to work with Homebase for insight and guidance along the way, and so they're helping to coach us through the process and the grant application, so that we can really maximize the points and hopefully bring more funding to our community. So we're working hard to accomplish that in the coming days as well. So that's moving forward. It's been a lot for our agency directors and everybody who's been a part of that. And so I appreciate everybody's hard work that's gone into it so far. We're excited to have some new projects to present to HUD as part of this, and excited to be able to ensure that all our renewal projects remain funded so they can continue the great work they're doing. So would entertain any questions about that if anybody's curious. All right. The next item on the agenda is to create a little bit of space for any of you to share about your work, the work of your agencies, or opportunities for partnership in the coming weeks. And so I'll be quiet for a little bit and let you share what you have going on with everybody.
Hi everyone, this is Katrina with United Way, and over the next 9 to 12 months or so, we're doing a deeper dive than ever before into community engagement and just listening. And so if you work with a group of people that you feel, hey, United Way hasn't heard us, or we would love to be able to give space and time to our clients or our board or people, we are definitely open and interested in scheduling that with you, so that way we can continue to ensure that our efforts as a funder in the community are aligned with the solutions that people care about. So If you want more information, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll drop my email in the chat, but just also know that we are listening intently to all of the information that's also rolling out. So we're excited to see the strategic plan. We're excited for the health needs assessment to announce their results. And if you all have also comprehensive reports or things like that, please send them our way. This is not to be duplicative in any way, but we definitely want some firsthand listening opportunities as well.
Thanks, Katrina. No, that's a really ambitious undertaking you all are shooting for, and so yeah, we would love for to be able to partner with that. And then if anybody would like to help, please do put together a listening session and connect with United Way on that.
I wanted to give a little bit of an update for Mercy House, our transitional living program. Our renovations are getting close to complete. They're on the last 3 apartments. So we do have openings at Mercy House, just a couple right at the moment, but we've got a couple. So feel free to send people our way, have them give our intake line a call. I think that number is 744-1126. Is that right? All right. Tracy's like, I got it right.
Excellent.
Archie Ford here with the Salvation Army, with the Veterans Program. And we're going to be doing boxes for the veterans in November. November the 8th, we will be putting all the boxes together and then doing the delivery on the 10th. So if you want to be involved in that, just give a call and you can come over and help us put all that stuff together. AmeriCorps is going to be a big part of helping us organize it and getting the packets out to the veterans. So if you're interested in that, you can contact Virginia Pursley or myself and get more information if you want to get involved in that. In addition to that, I mean, things are running smooth with the Veterans Program here, no problems there. We are also doing outreach, and I try to go out on Thursdays, and then it's every second and fourth Saturday of the month. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll put you on the mailing list, so you'll get a text to remind you about it. It's quite an experience to go out and have some hands-on with the homeless people and just building relationships with them on the street. So I would invite you to do that at least once. You wouldn't be out there by yourself. You'll come here to the Salvation Army, and then we will group up and put you with a team, and you go out and just fellowship with the people on the streets. And so you should try to experience that at least once. And that's where we are. If you have any questions, you can ask now, but that's my update.
Thanks, Archie. And we can we'll share any of that information and how to connect with that opportunity in the newsletter too, if you'll shoot it off to me in an email. So thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hi, Jenna Fox here with Family Guidance Centers in Sangamon County, Rosk. I just wanted to update you guys on a couple of things that we're working on. We're going off of our deliverable that we needed to get accomplished and sent into the state, and that is our community resource directory. So once we get that complete, I can send that all out to everyone. It'll be through an Excel document. And then next Tuesday, the 26th at 9 a.m., that will be our monthly council meeting if you would like to join. And then we also are doing a COVID-19 clinic out in the front parking lot on Tuesday, the 26th as well. And I do believe we'll be able to offer the Moderna booster at that clinic. So if you or any of your staff or any individuals in the community need COVID vaccines, please stop by next Tuesday, the 26th.
That's great, Jenna. Thank you. The Rosk Council is a recovery-oriented system of care, and I know several of you are a part of that. But if your agency, bumps into the work of the Family Guidance Center and helps to foster connections for people who are in recovery, it's a great effort to be a part of. So please do get connected with Jenna on that. And then Jenna, I know Central Counties is on the call too, but people may not be aware that Central Counties has clinic hours there at Family Guidance Center that are open for people too. Would you just mention the times of that for everybody?
So we do work in partnership with Central Counties. Mostly how they serve us inside of our facility is they come into the clinic and serve the population that we have housed here. It's not necessarily for the community, it's more for the individuals that are on our program to get them started on different medications that will help them in their recovery. But I do believe at Helping Hands, they have open, you would have to ask Donna if Donna would know exactly when they're over there, or someone at Helping Hands, they may be able to fill that gap.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, hi, good morning. It's Donna. So we are at Helping Hands on Monday all day, Thursday afternoons, and Friday all day. And at the Family Guidance Center, I think we're there just on Tuesday afternoons for that population. But at Helping Hands, we welcome the community.
Yeah. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, appreciate. Sorry for miscommunicating, but thank y'all for clearing that up too. That's a great
thank you.
Yeah. And I'll put my email in the chat if anyone's interested in the Ross Council.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenna, and thank you, Donna. Any other updates from agencies? Thank you to everybody who shared so far.
Hi, this is Susan from SHPA, the Supportive Housing Providers Association. I just wanted to remind everybody that registration is open for our fall conference. It's November 9th and 10th, and the name of the conference is Forging Ahead, Changing the Game. We'll be covering advocacy, of course. A lot of interesting and wonderful things happen this year. There'll be a session on evidence-based practices both days, and also a residence track for the work that we're doing with residents. Also a workforce session. So it's afternoons. We're trying to keep it simple but yet to the point, so you can get the most out of it that you can. So it'll be from 1 to approximately 4:30 both days. So if anybody has any questions, they can contact me, or go to the SHPA website and contact the SHPA info. But hopefully we can get quite a few of you in attendance.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Josh, this is Val. Susan, where is this located?
I am so sorry. This was held virtually.
Okay.
Of all the things I forgot, yes, it's virtual. And that way you can attend right from your desk. There's of course a discount for members. Non-members are also welcome to attend, and there's group discounts for those persons who would want to register 5 or more from your agency or organization. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any others?
I'm going to hop on since Renetta didn't, and just congratulate all the program graduates at the graduation that we just had on Tuesday the 19th. We had 14 individuals go from all the way to being homeless to being housed, paying their bills, kicking butt, taking names. And I just want to celebrate that and say that's really, really special for Renetta's team and everybody at Helping Hands. I just think that's a wonderful thing. So I'm just saying it here.
Thanks, Nick. Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll move to task group updates, and I'll just kind of open. I guess we'll open up with community education. One of the things that we had talked about in previous months was the opportunity to bring on some support to help enhance some community education projects and get them to the finish line. And so we put out a request for proposals, and we're able to hire or enter into a contract with Strategic Allied for a 4-month period. to help us complete a couple community education projects and to help foster communication around the strategic planning process and to try to get as much engagement with the community in that as possible. And so we're really grateful for that partnership and to really help get some of these projects going. And I believe Ronnie is on the call with us. And Ronnie, I don't know if you would want to introduce yourself and provide any updates.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Yeah. So my name is Ronnie Norton. Strategic Allied is my company, and I'm very excited to be working with HCoC and the Community Education Task Group to kind of help deliver some of these really important messages to the community and help align the mission. So yeah, happy to be here. And I actually have a 9:30 call, so I have to jump off, but thank you, everyone.
Connected to that, anybody who's a part of community education, would you want to provide a little update on some of those projects?
Yeah, so, and I see a couple other members are on here too. So if I miss anything, let me know. One of the things that we did yesterday was establish some criteria for a social media policy for the continuum. And so really, ultimately, we just wanted to provide some guidance to all of the members about how we are hoping that we can utilize the HCoC page as we continue to gain a following, if you will. And so basically, as members, we would love it if you could send us your upcoming events, fundraisers, trainings, specifically tied to efforts dealing with, homelessness prevention and housing. So if you're doing fundraisers directly targeted to that work, we want to lift that up. If you have training opportunities aligned with that work, we definitely want to lift that up. And we also are going to be taking the membership list and dividing it amongst our community education members. So that way, if we end up seeing, and we're going to just scan everybody's pages about once a week while we're all doing our personal scrolling. If we notice something from one of our members, we'll be sharing it with Ronnie and with Josh to get that posted. So just as an example, though, United Way, we're a member technically, but if we're having a fundraiser specifically for an education initiative, we're not going to be sharing that or asking for that to be shared on the HCoC page. So that was a good bit of discussion yesterday. We also are working on, again, as Josh kind of said, just efforts for how to lift up the strategic planning, the strategic plan and the process that's been underway. So we're working through that. And we're also preparing for Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, which will be November 13th through the 21st. And one of the most exciting projects that you've heard us continuously mention is the development of the community, the HCoC Community Ambassador Training. So we believe we have some really good outlines. We've already been doing lots of interviews. So Ronnie will be helping us get to the finish line with a hopeful release being during Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. And we'll also just be incredibly impactful to be able to roll that out in addition to the strategic plan. So that way we can give people a direct action that they can take as a result of being passionate about helping people find housing and stability.
Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate that. All right.
That was a good recap, Katrina, because that was a lot. Thank you.
All right. Is Officer Jones or anyone from the outreach team? I don't see Officer Jones. So one of the things that the outreach team is doing around the winter shelter effort is to provide outreach to try to encourage people to access shelter beds that are already available, but then also to provide some education about how the overflow shelter will work, how people can access those services when they're open. The Helping Hands and the overflow shelter are low barrier shelters, so we're providing communication about exactly what that means. So the outreach team has been doing that work. We'll continue to do that work even after the overflow shelter opens to help people access those services. So that's really been the highest priority for that team at this point, and they continue to do that work. the plan has not been to go and try to have 15 or 20 people go and do that at the same time for the most part. It's been different organizations kind of going out and doing that as a part of their ongoing work. And so we're really grateful for all the energy that's going into that, and appreciate everybody who's a part of that. On the coordinated entry HMIS front, is there anything to share there?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Tracy here, HMIS admin. One thing, and this is really, for the users, the name of the HMIS. I don't know if any of you guys have been paying much attention. Some Service Point is going away as far as the name. Community Services will be the new name. Really nothing else is going to change. It's just once it goes from one software company to another software company to another software company, they want to eliminate that first software company's ties to the name. So Service Point will basically disappear. The second thing I have is I'm probably going to be hitting a lot of people up with between now and the end of February, data corrections. System performance measures opened at the beginning of this month. I haven't been able to do a lot of it just because of all the other things going on. But I am really, really wanting to work on everybody going back and checking their client data that shows missing information, et cetera, et cetera. The better our information looks, the less likely we're to get that little red flag from HUD, and we need as few of those as possible. Same thing goes with the longitudinal systems analysis report. It opens November 1st. So that is an extreme reporting season for me. I will be limited as far as needing me. The reports that I do will still be done, etc. But it takes a lot of time to review this LSA report just so we have a well-rounded report when it's submitted back to HUD. Coordinated entry side, with the retirement of Tanya at Contact, Mercy has basically picked up doing the coordinated entry for families and single women. I really need to stress anybody that has not been doing coordinated entry assessments in their agencies and you agreed to that, you are going to need to pick that up, only because the girl here that was doing it is going to be unavailable for many weeks. So we're going to have to kind of work through this and be a little more fluid. And, I just want to make sure that the people that need assessed get assessed, irregardless of what's going on at our agencies.
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. And we can, maybe that'd be a good point of conversation in the follow-up meeting around coordinated entry list.
Yeah.
Thank you for continuing to bring that to the forefront.
That's all I got.
Okay. We've talked a good bit about emergency shelter, and then Archie, I know you already spoke about veterans. I don't know if you had anything else to add there.
No, that's all I have.
Thank you. Okay. Well, with that, I think we are at old and new business. On the new business side, I want to mention that our November meeting is going to be our last meeting of the year for the general membership, and it'll be our annual meeting, which means that in the coming weeks that you'll be receiving an email around board of director nominations for the continuum of care. And we'll be taking nominations for any open slots that are available for that. And then the other piece of that will be any modifications to our governance charter will be sent to you before that meeting for a vote. So at our next meeting, there'll be a vote on the board of directors. There'll be a vote on any governance changes. So just want to give you a heads up about that so you can be on the lookout. And as we send those out, again, I'm happy to talk about any of that more with you if you have any questions. Is there any other new business or old business that anyone would like to bring?
Josh, I just wanted to ask the question. Do they see any, when we might go back to in-person continuum of care meeting?
At this point, it's not a conversation we've had. I think we were starting to have those conversations in the summer before the Delta variant arrived. And at that point, we made the decision just to remain virtual through the end of the year. So I think as the board of directors meets in January, it'll be a good time to just reassess that. I would anticipate we'll start 2022 virtual and come up with a plan from there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, for being a part of the general membership, and for being on the call today. If anybody on the call, for all of you on the call who are a part of the coordinated entry system, we would invite you to stay on the call so that we can work on the by names list. And for everybody else, we hope you have a great day, and look forward to connecting with you in the work ahead. So thanks again for your time and for joining us this morning. It means a lot to all those in our community who need these services, that you would be a partner and help to push these efforts forward. So thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Have a great day, everybody.
Hey, Josh, can you hear me? This is Jill.
We can hear you.
Good morning. Sorry for the delay. I was sitting here working and looked up and it was 9:30.